Let me tell you a story about Hudden and Dudden and Donald O'Leary. Hudden and Dudden were two Irishmen that owned big farms, 1,000 acres. Donald O'Leary had a little farm that wasn't as big as this whole cafeteria. Am I still on? What did I do? Turn it on. We okay? All right, we'll try it again. And all Donald O'Leary had on his property was a one-room house where he lived and a cow barn for his one animal, Bessie the cow. Now, for some reason, Hudden and Dudden all right, I can do this. You'll be able to hear me. If you can't hear me, raise your hand. And that'll make me bring you up front. But anyhow, Hudden and Dudden, for all they had, they wanted Donald O'Leary's little property. And they did everything to try to get it. And they were never able to get it. Finally, they figured the only thing that was keeping Donald O'Leary there was Bessie, his cow. So you're not going to like this part, but anyhow, one day when Donald O'Leary was out of town, he sneaked in. They did in old Bessie. When Donald got home, he just heard the last move. Now, Donald was very poor. He was not dumb, he was smart. He skinned Bessie, he hung up the skin to dry. And the next day, when the skin was dry, he put on his second set of clothing, one with less holes in it. He reached into the one dresser he had and pulled out some coins, all the money he had in the world. And then he went to the other room and he cut slits into Bessie's hide, into the skin. And into town he went. And he went into a pub. Imagine that, he went into a pub. And he hung up the skin and he walked over and he asked for a drink. And the owner looked at him like he didn't look like he could afford it. He said, "I don't think I could pay, right?" So he walks over and whacks the skin. And what happens when a coin pops out? So did the owner's eyeballs. And sure, he served him. And when he asked for a second one, he served him right away. He went over, hit it again, and took another coin. And the owner said, "How'd you like to sell that skin?" "Oh, since I couldn't sell that skin, it's been in the family for a year. It's an heirloom." The guy says, "I'll give you its weight in gold." "Oh, that's a different story." And so he sold him the skin for its weight in gold, and he got all this gold. He left and he went home, and he thought, "I wonder if I got taken. I wonder if this is as much gold as I should have gotten." So he goes and he knocks on Hudden's door, and he says, "Can I borrow your scale?" And he says, "What do you need a scale for?" So he put some butter on the edge of the scale. Donald took it. He waited. He hadn't been taken. He got as much as he should have gotten, and he returns the scale. Hudden looks at the scale and he sees the gold dust in the butter. So the next morning he's over, he's knocking on the door and he's saying, "Hey, where did you get the gold?" Donald says, "Listen, I know you two were trying to do me in. But let me tell you, I took Bessie's skin into town and they're paying their weight in gold for skins." So Hudden looks at Dudden. And don't they get home and what do? They killed every cow. And they had to get a humongous cart, filled it up with the skins, and into town they went, yelling, "Skins for sale, skins for sale." And out comes a carpenter. He says, "Well, how much you want for the skins?" He says, "They're weight in gold." He said, "You've been drinking too much." Anyhow, the bar owner hears all the ruckus, and he has realized he's been taken because they ran out of coins pretty fast, okay, what was in there. And so he comes out and he says, what's all the noise about? They said, oh, these guys are trying to sell these skins for their weight in gold. He said, they're part of the gang that was in here yesterday. Grab them. They grabbed him, they beat Hudden and Dudden within an inch of their life, ran him out of town. Now this did not make them like any much at all. So the next morning they didn't even knock on the door, they marched through the door and hit Donald over the head, knocking him out. Put him in a burlap bag, and over the shoulder they went. They were going to Brown Lake, which was 7 miles away. And once and for all, they were going to get rid of Donald in the Brown Lake. Well, they get about 6 miles, and it's a hot day, and carrying Donald is a real task. And they hear the tinkling in glasses that are hanging past the pub. They thought, see, it wouldn't hurt if we just leave him there. He's out like a light. We'll go have a drink in the pub. So in they go. Meanwhile, Donald has awakened, and he realizes what kind of trouble he's in. He's tied in this burlap bag. And as he waits there, all of a sudden he hears a tinkling of cows. And he realizes that a cow drover was coming along bringing some cows. Now, cow drovers were not known as really intelligent people. And so he thought, aha. And he yelled, I don't want her! You can't make me take her! I don't want her! I don't want her! And the cow drover stops. He says, you don't want her? He says, where are you? He says, well, open the bag and you'll see. He opens the bag and he says, now who is it you don't want? He said, they want me to marry the princess. And you don't want to marry the princess? My heart belongs to her. So anyhow, the farmer says, or the cow drover says, she must be really ugly. No, she's the prettiest woman in all of Ireland. She must be very poor. Oh, she's one of the richest women in all of Ireland. And you don't want her? I told you, I love somebody else. The drover says the magic word. Boy, I'd sure like to have her. Donald says, would you like to change places with me? And the drover says, sure. And now steps Donald, puts the drover in, he's ready to tie him up. He says, wait a minute, what kind of a deal is this? I'm giving you the prettiest and richest woman in Ireland, but what am I getting at? The drover says, take my cows. 7 of the fattest cows you've ever seen. Ties them. Home he goes with 7 cows. Meanwhile, Hudden and Dudden have had a couple of drinks, and out they come. They pick up Donald. They think he weighs a little more, but they thought maybe it's the drink they had. They walk the last mile. They stand out on the pier of Brown Lake. 1, 2, and they throw who they think is Donald into the lake. A couple hours later, they get home. Imagine their surprise when they see Donald out in the yard with 7 of the fattest cows you've ever seen. How did this happen? Well, I know you're always trying to get rid of me, but boy, the legend of Brown Lake is true. And they said, what do you mean? The grass down there you can cut with butter. The herds down there are the biggest cows you've ever seen. These are the smallest 6 that I had. That I got. Hudden looks at Dudden. And they raced the whole 7 miles back to Brown Lake. Ran across the dock and leaped in. Never heard of them again. Okay, that's Hudden and Dudden. Hey.